you want to at this link. And the other one is the telehealth dermatology service for rural doctors. And that's where they use apps and smartphones to capture pictures and images of people's skin, and they're sent to the sort of centres of expertise in large hospitals for dermatologists to actually have a look at and advise the doctors who are working in rural areas in often, remote and under-resourced circumstances. Okay, so that's what that is. So just choose one of these two, and then you need to go through the 6 evaluation steps. And Jeffrey showed you this slide today. If you're not sure about the evaluation plan and how to do it, go back to week 8 and 9, Professor Westbrook's lecture. Okay, she talked a lot about evaluation, and she talked about these steps. So you need to tell us how you would evaluate one of those 2 programs. So identify the change or outcome that the program aims to achieve, and how you would formulate the evaluation questions. Identify the boundaries and dimensions. Remember, we talked about that during week 9 at the lecture. So how do you find the program? Where does it end and where does it finish? So are you going to be looking at, does the New South Wales Health Get Healthy program increase exercise, or does it decrease alcohol intake in the people who seek that help through that program? So you need to be specific. Your questions for the evaluation need to be quite specific. And that's what we mean by boundaries. So it's, it's a particular question about a particular group of people, and you need to define that, okay? You need to select some kind of comparison group, and the comparison group needs to make sense. So, is it middle-aged women who access this program compared with middle-aged women who don't? And how are you going to find them? How are you going to recruit the comparison group? Then you need to figure out, well, what are you measuring? What are you going to measure? Are you going to measure, I don't know, weight loss, or, reduction in drinking, or whatever other outcome you might want to measure? But you need to choose something that makes sense within that program, and figure out how you're going to measure it. So you might think about not necessarily looking at whether people lost weight, or whether people stopped drinking, or whether people became more active. You might want to look at how satisfied were people with the service that was provided via telephone, for instance. And so your question might be around that rather than the actual outcome. That's up to you. And if you're looking at satisfaction, you might want to measure that in a different way to how you would measure whether someone lost weight or not, or whether someone, became more active. So if you're looking at weight loss, you would want to be collecting data around, well, what was the initial weight and what was the weight after the person completed the program. But if you're looking at satisfaction, you might need to think about some other measures. So some kind of questionnaire, or you might want to do some qualitative interviews with people who use the service. So think about, what method, what measures will go with the question that you're asking. Okay? And then plan how you would organize the conduct of the evaluation. How would you do it? Where would you get your data from? Who would you need to talk to? Who are the stakeholders? And then how would you report the results, and to whom? Okay, so who do you want to know about your results? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Makes sense to Roel? Does it make sense to others?
Question in it. So in that sense, when the evaluating part, do I need to do I need to put the calculation and all for it?
No, but you need to be aware of what the program is. So the program is a telephone support service. So no one's measuring adiposity in this program.
Okay.
So you need to understand what the program is and how you would evaluate it.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Even in regards to uploading the assessment, we've had issues with uploading the video presentation. Considering it's 15 minutes, that might be more than 200 megabytes. So
Yeah.
Is it possible to upload it via YouTube or?
No, don't put it on YouTube. All of you